Hey guys, Nary here from Drakewing Game. It's me on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Tennessee Shuichi's Path. So guys, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you're up, and let's just jump right back in. Alrighty. Morning. I have to admit, even though you've told me about putting in more of an effort, I'm still shocked whenever I see you around here this early. I shock myself every morning when I get up without hitting the snooze on the alarm. Don't worry, it'll become a habit soon, and then it won't be so hard. I won't count on that. What are you two up to? Just some boring student council stuff, clearing some paperwork that needs to be done before the school trip next month. I'll spare you the details, it'll probably bore you half to death anyway. Like, we finally managed to clear the budgeting issues we were having last week. Now we need to work on making the reservations on the hotels and airlines we chose. Not to mention, start drafting papers to send to students' families so that they can sign with permission for them to even go. It's fine for most seniors since they're over 18. We still need permission from our parent or guardian from juniors and freshmen. I swear, all this would have been dealt with much sooner if we didn't have to budget around taking the juniors to a much more expensive location than everyone else. Not that I'm complaining since I get to go too, but it's pretty unfair that the school scheduled such a more lavish trip for the junior classes simply to posture around that guy. He probably already has enough money to go wherever he wants. Why does the school have to use funds that they don't really have just to look better for the rich dude? No, Cat! What the hell are you doing over here? Get. No. Don't just bounce over here, good lord. Don't they know we're the ones that have to balance the checkbook? It's not like that money appears out of nowhere. Even though he said he was going to spare me the details, he immediately launches on a rant about it regardless. Either he's really indecisive or he really wanted to vent about it. Kasama-kun, you're babbling again. Oh, sorry, I tend to run my mouth a little bit when I get worked up. But, yeah, that's about the gist of it anyway. As you can see, a lot of work needs to be done, and it's pretty stressful. We're lucky Prez has stuck around with us, especially now that most seniors quit. The gist? I feel like I just got the extended unabridged version. If that's the gist, then I'm afraid of finding out how much stuff they're currently juggling. I see, you guys certainly have a lot on your plate. I'm sorry you've been put in that situation. To be fair, I didn't even stop to consider that Kaiken being here would alter the school's plans for the trip. Guess that explains why his class gets to go all the expensive places. Now that I think about it, all classes got taken on an international trip when I was a freshman. But after Kaiken joined our school, we've only had much cheaper trips. We went to Chiba Prefecture last year and stayed in a pretty average hotel. The freshmen went to Hawaii and got taken on an excursion through the island while staying in a resort hotel. And this year, it seems the juniors will be going to Paris to visit the Louvre. The Louvre, Eiffel Tower, and the other places, while us seniors are being taken to Okinawa to see an aquarium. And the bias is really apparent here. Though, we should probably get going. The other members are already waiting for us in the student council room, and we only have so much time before class starts. Yeah, that's true. Say, Yuichi, do you think we could meet up in a few minutes before the bell rings? I was hoping I could get your opinion on something. Oh, sure. About what? I'll tell you then. Really, Prez? We're already pressed for time and you're planning on leaving the meeting early? Oh, please. Like, ending things 5 minutes early is going to kill us. Are you sure you're feeling well? Do you have a fever or something? Either way, I'll come by your class once I'm done. Wait for me there, okay? Alright. I watched the two walk away towards their destination, quickly tuning me out and going back to their discussion about their work. Those two definitely are quick to switch gears, I'll give them that. How can they focus on their work again so quickly and intensely? That's definitely a bit weird. Are they secretly robots or something? As expected, as soon as I walk into my classroom, I see the usual assortment of early risers that I've gotten used to seeing here in the past week. About half the class is here this early, which is a shocking enough number. At first, most people were equally shocked to see me here at this time, but the shock has slowly died down over the past week and morphed into mild consternation. I get right to work, pulling out my notebooks and going over my notes. Trying to redo them is proving to be much more of a pain in the ass than I thought it would be. I considered asking Jen to let me borrow his since they're so detailed and easy to read, but since this is a mess of my own creation, I decided the right thing to do is getting myself out of this hole myself. Besides, my grades are already decent enough at the moment, so I don't need to rush to improve my notes or anything like that. Plus, if I really want to show Shuichi off with all my progress, I can't afford to take any shortcuts to get it. I'm not giving him any out so he can later say, "You only managed to do it because X helped you." Working on my notes is just as much of a tedium as I expected it to be. It has been my usual before class routine for the past week. especially considering that they're such a mess and so incomplete that I had to check out a bunch of books from the library just so I can find a way to add the stuff that I'm missing. There's a lot of cross-referencing involved, and I truly hate that part. Things could be made a lot easier if I looked for answers on my phone, but I remember Saya telling me, "Hey, what are you doing, chunky boy?" Yeah. Yeah. You silly cat. Jumped up on the vent, you silly boy. Things could be made a lot easier if I looked for answers on my phone, but I remember Saya telling me once before, that not all the information on the internet is accurate. So I chose the old school, more annoying method of research, if only because I know this one has been curated by professionals and the stuff in here is 100% approved by the school. Honestly, I should get a prize just for going through all this trouble. Before I notice it, time begins to fly by. The seconds turn to minutes, and soon 40 minutes have already passed. Nice! I'm almost done with the history section. By this point, I've gotten pretty used to tuning out the side of the door opening and closing as more and more students arrive due to the impending bell ring. Except this time my attention is quickly whisked away by the sound of the chair immediately next to me being dragged. When I turn around, I see a familiar figure of a tiger throwing his bag on top of his desk and slumping down on his chair. Whoa, June! I didn't know you'd be getting back to school today. Morning! Yeesh, are you doing alright? You look even more out of it than you did yesterday. I'm fine, I'm just really tired. We managed to get the whole group together yesterday to celebrate Keisuke's birthday. Keisuke's birthday. We went to the movies, karaoke, dinner. The whole thing was a lot of fun on its own, although it felt like June was only going through the motions. He didn't seem anywhere as excited as he usually is, and looked exhausted most of the time. That's what you said yesterday. It was also true yesterday. Truth be told, I went even though I wasn't feeling 100% yet because I didn't want to be the only one missing Keisuke-san's birthday. But that kind of worked against me in the end. God damn it, June, you need to make better choices. I know. Hey, Kobayashi-kun, you're back. Ah, morning, Jin-san. Jin-san. We were starting to think you'd kick the bucket. Glad to see you walking with the living again. That's a bit morbid. Don't say that stuff like that, Jin. That's terrible. What? Get off my ass, will ya? I'm just saying that I was worried. There are better ways of saying it. It's alright, I don't mind. I appreciate your concern. Here, I baked a cake last night and brought a slice with me to school. You can have it. What? But you brought this for yourself. Don't worry about it. I still have the whole thing back home. Besides, it's a way to celebrate you being back. Yeah, he's already gonna pig on the entire cake later anyway. You should take this for your own health. That's mean, Jin. I guess I'll accept your gift then. Thank you so much. You don't have to look so shocked. We're just glad to have you back, Kobayashi-kun. Yeah, besides, things got really dull without having to settle arguments between me and Ryoji. Have I become the official tiebreaker between you two? Yeah. Jin almost sounds gleeful, giving June an exaggerated thumbs up over the whole thing. I see. We'll talk a little bit more later, okay? I still need to go with Jin to the faculty office to talk about a few low grades he got. You don't need to announce that to everyone. It's not like they can't see your grades on the notice board in the first place. As soon as the twins walk out of the room, another pair gets up from their seats and walks up to us, having noticed June's arrival in the classroom. Kobayashi-kun, I'm glad to see you're back. Are you doing well now? You must have been really sick to take an entire week's absence. Ah, it's fine. I'm doing much better now, thank you very much. Are you sure? You still look a bit tired. You have bags under your eyes and all. And it's gotta be really bad since I can tell even with the spot you have around one of your eyes. I do? Yeah, have you been sleeping well at all? It's kind of a mixed bag. Wow, I'm surprised to see you looking so worried, Nikonishi. You barely even talk to me. You barely even talk to most of the boys in class. Junkin is different, though. Yes? How come? By the way, I took the liberty of making copies of my notes this past week to pass them along to you whenever you came back to school. It's not much, but this should help you catch up on the subjects you missed. Whoa, that's gonna be a big help. Thanks, Ayaku-san. If you want, I have some melatonin I take sometimes when I'm having trouble sleeping. I don't have it with me, but I can bring you some tomorrow if you'd like. It might help you with those bags under your eyes. Oh, is that stuff safe to take? Sure, it's just sleep hormones. Over-the-counter stuff and all that. Just don't take it too often. Take it for a few days, and once your sleep schedule starts getting back to normal, wean off it again. It does go well. It goes down well with a glass of warm milk. Oh, that actually sounds really good. I'll accept it if you're really offering. Gotcha. I'll make sure to bring some tomorrow. Jeez, I'm not used to seeing her being all nice like that to other people. Is this a dream? Am I imagining things? Voice said, oh, hey, Junkun. Whoop. Looks like there are more people wanting to talk to you. Come on, Kyo-chan. Let's give him a chance to talk without crowding the poor boy too much. Yeah, that's unfair. Yeah, that's fair. He just got back from being sick and all. I'll bring you the thing tomorrow, okay? I'll talk to you later, Kobayashi-kun. Feel free to come to me if you have any questions on the material. Alright, thank you so much! No sooner do the girls walk away than that other pair walks up to June, equally as happy to see him. I swear, it's like an endless parade. What the hell's going on? Ah, June-kun. I'm so happy to see you back. I was getting really worried by the lack of updates. What voice did I do for Ryoji? It's been really boring without having you around. When I talk about games almost every day, what do you mean it's been boring? Kamigawa shrugs, lowering his console to raise an eyebrow at me. It's not really the same. Kobayashi knows a lot more games than you do. Wow, I'm not sure if I should feel offended by this or not. Are you doing alright? Do you have a fever? You're still not sick, are you? Relax, I'm fine. You don't have to worry so much about me. But the last time you ended up having to go to the hospital, and this time you were gone for a week. It's not like I hit my head again, you know. I stayed at home, resting. I guess that's a little bit better. You're way too fussy. What? That's simply not true. What have you two been up to this past week? Oh, I've been looking around town for yukata. I even got Keisuke-san to help me in everything. A yukata? Yeah, for the festival. Festival? Yeah, I started playing this new game called Move-Dove, Revenge of the Shadow Kitties. Wanna see? Ooh, that name sounds really interesting. Show me. I remember Muv-Love. Such a weird name. Hey, I was in the middle of a sentence. Those two immediately get lost in their own little world, completing zoning out the presence of the fox who huffs and pouts where he stands. Over the next few minutes, a lot more students start gathering around the back of the class, all of them wanting to get a few words with June, wishing him well, telling him they're happy to see him again, that sort of thing. Jeez, when did he get so popular? I wind up getting up from my desk and walking away, if only because the sudden crowd forming around is feeling a bit too claustrophobic for my tastes. Couldn't bring yourself to stick around? I walk to the front of the class, stopping near the class rep's desks. She looks up from her book with a contented smile, wagging a finger in the air with air along with her words. Yeah, it got to be a little too much. I didn't know so many people wanted to talk to June. Really? Haven't you noticed before? Noticed what? That Kobayashi-kun has become a sort of unofficial class mascot. He's well liked by most of the class. Really? You're right, I hadn't noticed that. Ayako-san giggles, covering her mouth with a crooked index finger. I guess you don't pay enough attention to notice. It started pretty slowly, but it's almost like once he'd managed to settle into your group, he started interacting with more people little by little through you. Now he's loved by nearly everyone. Damn, you go, June. Now that I think about it, I guess June really is the kind of guy that I'd picture being surrounded by lots of friends. He's likable, cute, bubbly, energetic. He really is the type to be popular, after all. I guess we're very different in that regard. We might just be very lucky to have June walking around as a permanent member of our group. If I'm not careful, he might just end up being poached by someone else. I sneak a quick glance at the door once I hear the sound of it opening, drawn away by my curiosity, especially now that I don't have my notes to focus on and keep me rooted. I see Shuichi's head peering inside, looking around the room for a second before his eyes settle on me. He raises a hand, making a gesture to call me over with a smile on his face. Oh, sorry, looks like I'm being called. Don't be late for class. I'm just gonna be outside. I step out of the classroom. I see Shuichi leaning against the wall, waiting for me. Due to the time, the hallway is already mostly deserted, with the majority of students having headed to their individual classrooms now that the bell is so close to ringing. Hey there. Hey, you said you wanted to talk to me? Right. Shuichi muses for a few seconds, a low humming noise echoing from his throat. Smacking his lips, he looks straight at me, his expression quickly changing to a dejected sigh. Well, this is kind of a delicate issue, or more like a difficult one. Now might not be the best timing considering what happened the last time we talked. He raises a hand to his cheek, scratching it awkwardly and looking away from me, letting those words hang in the air for a while. I wanted your opinion on how I should formally announce my quitting the volleyball team. What? I'm caught completely by surprise by this sudden broaching of the subject. I knew this was something Shuichi had been thinking about. He'd even mentioned it briefly before. But now, of all times? Last week he was so adamant about postponing the announcement until he could try convincing his dad again. Come on, why this all of a sudden? Weren't you going to try convincing Takehiko-san? You know I've already tried. You know how that went. Yeah, but isn't that throwing the towel way too easy? Easy? You think this is easy? It sucks. You don't think I'm broken up about it? I'm just saying, maybe try one more time. Get more things that can help you convince him. Maybe if you look up at how athletic scholarships improve chances of getting in. That could be a big help. I don't know. I'm kind of tired, you. I don't want to keep getting my hopes up for something that's not going to pan out. Don't say that. You love volleyball, don't you? Yeah. Then you should keep trying. If it's something you really love doing, how can you give up on it that easily? You. Come on, big guy. One more try. You know you want to. Okay, I'll put a pin on this subject for now. I'll look up the data on that. I already know what universities I'll be applying to, so I can reach out to them and ask directly about it as well. Maybe I'll ask for my mom's opinion on it. She knows Dad best. She might have some insight into a better way of convincing him. Maybe I could even contact the scout from the Panthers that approached me and ask him to make a written offer that I could present to Dad. Yeah, well, that's all I'm asking. You don't give up. Just don't give up yet. You still have a lot of options at your disposal. Thanks. I really do appreciate all your support. Oh, come on. It's not a big deal. Actually, it is. Huh? You know, I know I can be a bit of a pain in the ass sometimes. I know I can have a temper. It's hard for me to talk about certain things because they hit too close to home and they're sort of a sore spot or something. I don't want you to feel like you have to stand on eggshells around me. It's just that with everything going on, it's hard to think straight sometimes. I'm under a lot of pressure, from all sides. School, sports, the council at home. It's hard. I know. I'm here for you with whatever I can do to help. Sometimes I might do or say things that you might not like. Or I just hope you know that I really am trying my best to help. I know. Sometimes it might be hard to accept and I might need some time, but believe me, I know. You don't have to be so hard on yourself. I understand that. Besides, we're in a good place right now, right? Right. I think so too. I wasn't planning on saying anything because I didn't want to jinx it. Oops, I guess I screwed it up now. And here I thought things would work out between us and we get married. What? Oh my god, relax. Your face got so red all of a sudden. Same-sex marriage isn't even legal in Japan, you dumbass. Oh, right. I guess that's true. Oh, wow, it's not? I thought it was. I thought same-sex marriage was legal in Japan. Huh. Well then. I know same-sex stuff isn't necessarily frowned upon in Japan, but... Huh. Japan's very weird about censorship and stuff like that when it comes to, like, adult content. It's really weird. You really take the silliest things seriously, you're adorable, you. Shut up! Huh, right. No praising. Got it. I should probably get going, though. It was nice to get to talk to you before class. It definitely helped to get an outsider's perspective about this stuff. I'm glad to have helped. You can come to me at any time. I'll keep that in mind. See you at lunch. See ya! See ya! I watched Shuichi walk away and into his classroom, leaving me by myself in the hall. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right here. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks or tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!